Hiya, I did 4 days on multidrop. I got myself a fuel card, got some tips on ADR, and I've had an easy Friday. Good morning, I'm Dave, Anvil Logistics, and it is Monday the 17th of July, and I'm on my way in. I've got a route on today as usual. I don't know what the week will bring, obviously. As we know, I've been virtually doing this all the time, and the money's been good, and it's been difficult for people out there in CX land. So if you've not got your own work, then finding something else and not relying on the CX is the way forward, as everybody knows. I think that those people who just started on the CX like I did last year, I couldn't emphasise enough the need to find alternative work as well as the CX. Try to make the CX something that supplements your income rather than makes your total income. Don't get me wrong, there are people who successfully make a living out of it, but I would venture to say that those are driving small vans. I think if you have a small van, you can make a living just on the CX, but even then it won't be easy because there's more work available for the smaller van. But larger vans, no, I believe that you need sources outside of the Courier exchange to supplement, or in fact get the bulk of your income. That said, good luck to anyone who's starting out. Difficult time in this industry, I believe, to start in the business like this. We are definitely, in my opinion, in a recession. Inflation's high, isn't it? So everything's more expensive. Getting a new van's expensive because if you get finance on it, the interest is going to be higher than it was last year. So this week, probably I'll be doing this route, this route which encompasses, multi-dropping, but not in massive numbers. It is demanding physically more so than other things, and in fact this weekend I did have a bit of backache because it was quite a lot of lifting last week, but I'm getting on a bit, so these things happen, don't they? I don't intend to work Friday for them this week. I'm going to tell them I'm not available on Friday. I've been reluctant to do this because you don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth, but the reason behind it is quite simple. I need the van over the weekend for personal use, and sometimes on a Friday businesses close early and I end up with products on the van, which means I can't really use it. So I've decided I'm not going to work for them on Friday, and what I'll probably do is have a little dip into the CX on Friday, just pick up some reasonably local work, or distant. I'm not bothered as long as it's something that doesn't involve product staying on the van, and it'll make a nice change as well. I rather enjoyed not last Monday, the Monday before, when I wasn't needed and I had a day on the CX. It made a nice change, but still 4 days on this is a more than adequate amount of money for me. So that's what the plan is this week. Anything different comes up, anything remotely of interest, I'll let you know. Hope you all have a great week and earn some money. Well, good evening. It's Thursday today, the 20th of July. It's actually now 20 to 6 in the evening. I'm heading home. I've had a nightmare journey home from near Chester, because all week I've been doing the routes, but today I did a different route. I did like the Wirral, and then sort of like North Wales, Mould and areas like that, Flint and Chester area. And I actually did my last drop at something like 3:45, but the journey home has been a mare, an absolute mare. What should be just perhaps an hour's journey, it's taking nearly 2 hours by the time I get home. So, yeah, it's traffic. What can you do about traffic? So tomorrow, I'm not working. I'm having a day off tomorrow. Well, that's the plan anyway. I'm going to pick up a new PA that the band, the group I'm in, the Ambulers, we bought a new PA and we all chipped in, and I'm going to go and collect it from the place in Bolton, and then hopefully we could use it on Saturday, because we've got a gig Saturday night in Shaw in Oldham. If anyone lives local and you fancy coming to see us, you're more than welcome. And if someone else comes, then we won't just be playing to the barmy. But if you fancy it, have a look on the Anvilers YouTube page for details. It'd be nice to see some faces there. Anyway, that aside, it's been same old for me, and to be honest with you, the CX doesn't appear to have picked up very much or very well. And believe on Monday, well, I know I don't believe, I know it crashed on Monday afternoon, and some people, like, you know, that I know, they didn't even get a job on Monday. Not one job, couldn't get a job in the morning. They had nothing pre-booked in, and then because the CX had crashed in the afternoon, they couldn't even get a job for the next morning either. So will they give anybody any money back? Will they? Bollocks. I understand that, you know, it does crash from time to time, but that was off for quite a while, wasn't it? And I feel sorry for anybody who was just working just on the CX, because you can have lost some money on that. But again, no compensation coming your way. I very much doubt it. Anything else new for me? I've got myself a fuel card. All this time I've resisted and resisted. I have got one. It comes on Wednesday. I've got one that is from the fuel card company that I can use at multiple different sites. At the moment they tell me that the current charge is £1.11 a litre, and I'm going to give it a bash, because people keep saying, oh, you need to get a fuel card, you save money on this, and it's probably true. I've always resisted, but there's no fees for this one. I think I've opted for a £1,500 limit a month on fuel. I don't use anything like that at the moment when I'm doing this run. I'm probably using close to about 500, but I thought I'd better have the higher one just in case this comes to a grinding halt and I need to, you know, a higher limit. Although I could still use a company credit card, couldn't I? So I'm going to give it a bash and see if it makes a significant difference. The one thing that it will be an advantage of, which I've discussed with a friend of mine, is the fact that I can use it on the motorway service stations, because that's the one place I don't fill up with my credit card, because it's just ridiculously expensive. Whereas with the fuel card, of course, you get it for the same price as long as it's one of their approved sites. So they tell me I can use it thousands of different fuel stations over the UK, and they will come with an app that you can go on to tell you which sites you can use. And there have been occasions when I've been on the motorway and a bit low on fuel, and it just would have been a lot easier just to jib in and fill up. And of course, every week they take the money out that you've used from the previous week. They inform you every week what the latest price will be, and I'll see how it goes. And of course they send you a VAT invoice, don't they, which you can just forward onto the account. So that is the major thing not very exciting thing. Nearly everyone has got one. I've always resisted, and this time I've opted to get one. And another thing as well, it will probably improve the credit rating of Anvil Logistics, won't it? Because it is a form of credit. So when it comes to changing the van, I would rather buy the van in the company name than in my personal name like I did last time. I couldn't get it in my company name because I was a new company, wasn't I? And no one was going to give credit to a brand new company. So I ended up getting the finance on my van in my own personal name, which is not a problem as such in terms of that, you know, I don't intend to default on it. But if you have it in the company name, if the worst should happen and the company was to go under for whatever reason, I don't anticipate it ever would, at least I've got the fact that I'm not liable for the remaining payments on the van. The van goes back, anything that's outstanding would be written off. I don't intend to do that. I would like to do that, but you never know what's in the future, do you? Some disaster might befall me and I cannot keep up payments on a van, because the next one I get will probably be a new one, and you know what, you're looking at 30 odd, maybe 40 grand, aren't you? I will use this van plus some extra money as a deposit. We'll probably end up borrowing, you know, maybe 20 grand over, say, 3-4 years. And you know, it's a financial commitment that I want Anvil Logistics to have rather than David Taylor. So that's what I'd like to do. So if I build up the credit rating of Anvil Logistics, improve it, then you have a better chance of securing a better deal, haven't you? So I think that might be a good idea. I mean, I have a company credit card which I settle every month, so there is some credit history for the company. And oh no, I didn't. I did all the insurance. The previous year I did the insurance monthly, but this year I paid it all off. So it's saddening really, but you've got to get debt so you can obtain debt, because if you buy everything outright in full, you don't have much of a credit history. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to give that a bash, having a fuel card. I know some people have several, and so any advice of which cards you're using, which ones you recommend, because this is just one card. I know some people have several, then I might get another one as well. I'll give it a try anyway. I've resisted till now, but now I'm doing it. So a part of that comes about Wednesday next week, and £1,500 spending limit on it, but I don't ever see it going over that, to be honest with you, especially if they're grabbing the money out of your bank every week. You'd always have plenty of money in it, wouldn't it? So you lot know better than me. Let me know, how does it work for you? But I believe you get the card, and I think it comes up with a PIN number. I've opted not to have the reg number of the van on it, just in case I need to hire a van or something like that. And all it'll have on it apparently is Anvil Logistics Limited and my name, no van reg number. And if it has a PIN, can somebody tell me? Can you use it at the 24-hour unmanned garages? Because that's one thing I've always wondered. You know, you get those garages that have perhaps got nobody on them, but you can still get fuel. Can you use your fuel card at them if it's like a PIN, got a PIN number? Perhaps you can let me know, because I don't know. This is all new to me. This is new territory for me. So, nice day off tomorrow. I might be tempted, if I pick that PA up early enough and I'm a little bit bored, to have a look on the CX and see if there's a cheeky little job I can do. I did have a look tonight on the way back. There was nothing really that tempted me. But I'm just having a break as well from the multidrop, because it is quite tiring. And it's a bit same old sometimes, so a little change would be nice. But what I earn in 4 days of doing that is more than enough anyway. So it's not as if I'm losing, you know, out on loads of money that I need. You just be making extra money when I do the 5th day. 4 days on this is still a very good week on the, you know, takings. So if I get a little boost, that's fine. If not, it'll be a nice day off, won't it? Anyway, what I'll do is, if I do work, I'll let you know what I did. But remember, keep me informed about this fuel card business, if you could, please. Hi everyone, it's actually Friday. It is technically a day off for me today, but it's turned out not to be. I had to run an errand. I had to go and pick up my PA system for me and the boys for this weekend, which I've done. And I got a phone call from the people I'm working for, who asked if I could possibly do them a same-day job, an ADR, same-day job. And I thought, well, why not? Since I'm out in Bolton picking up this, it's only down the road to where they are. And I've just picked up that and dropped it off. So that was quite easy, but I get a minimum price for ADR work. And I am currently just near Huddersfield. I am going to see if I can pick up another little job, get me home, and then bugger off. But in terms of money this week, it's been great because, of course, I earn really good money on the multi-drop route that I do. It's lasted a lot longer than I thought it would, and I'm really grateful. It is tiring, and they do get their money's worth out of me in terms of that I do work hard. So it's not, you know, all taking loads of money and not doing anything. I work for it, definitely work for it. And they wouldn't have me keep doing it if they weren't happy with the work that I do for them, would they? Now, obviously, I can only get this gig because I'm ADR. And one of the things that I wanted to have a quick mention about was ADR and what you can and can't carry, because I do get asked a lot of questions from people who obviously subscribe to the channel. So, and they think maybe that I'm some kind of super expert. I'm not an expert. I took my latest ADR test 2.5 years ago now, and in truth be told, that I tend to forget most of it the minute I've walked out the door and been told I'm passed. So most of the time I'll look things up anyway. But I do constantly get asked by people, is it okay to carry this? Is it okay to carry this? And, you know, I will tell them, you know, to the best of my knowledge. But there's something you can do for yourself as well. You can look it up. If you Google the UN code of the products you're doing, if it's an ADR product, it's hazardous goods, it's given a UN number. It's the letters UN and then 4 digits after it. You can Google that and look up what it is. And there's also on there, you can look up ADR book. An ADR book is a tool that tells you whether you'll be in scope or not. When I say in scope, if it's in scope, it means you need an ADR license to carry it. But there are quite a lot of items that you can carry that you don't need an ADR license for, as long as it's not over a certain weight and it's in very limited quantities. And sometimes you might, as happened this week, for a lad called Luke, who is a subscriber, and he went to pick something up. It was a box. It just happened to be corrosive, but that's irrelevant. And he asked me, can I carry this? And when you look it up, yes, you can, because it was only 10 kilos in a box, and it was 1 kilo bottles in the box itself. So although it was labelled correctly with the hazardous symbols on it, and it did have a dangerous goods note attached to it, you didn't need an ADR license to transport that. You would need to be ADR aware, but Luke is, as it happens. And he's got equipment on his van too, so he's perfectly fine carrying that. And in some cases, it's the same with yourselves. So it's worthwhile looking up ADR book typing in the UN code and the weight of the product that you're carrying, and it will indicate to you whether you're in scope or not. It will tell you whether you need to display the symbols or not. And it's a handy little tool if you're not sure. Other than that, go and take an ADR license. Well, there's not a lot of work on the Courier exchange for it. You're going to have to go out and get your own after that. Anyway, that was just a little tip. I'll see if I get another job. I'm not bothered if I don't. Done well this week. I only expected to earn 4 days money, which is still decent. But I got a little bonus by doing that ADR job for my, I'd say employers, but they're not really employers, are they? But I work with them. And that's boosting me anyway. If I can get something from Huddersfield back home, fine. If not, it's only 25 minutes. And that'll be me. I hope that you're not struggling too much out there. I hope things maybe are picking up for you. I've been looking at the feed today just to be nosy, and there's a bit of work flying about. Whether or not that work's going for a fair price is another matter. And another thing, since I'm on, have you noticed that a lot of shippers are posting jobs that are not really jobs, are they? Pick up somebody and take them to here. It's like you're a taxi. Now, as far as I'm aware, my insurance doesn't cover me to carry passengers. That is passengers for hire a reward. So if you get a job to say, I need a driver picking up and taking to our depot or something, you're being paid to carry a passenger. That's what a taxi does. But you're only really insured to get paid to carry goods. So be very, very careful if you take any of those type of jobs. Because as far as I'm aware, you won't be covered. And these people shouldn't be posting it, should they? They should know that. So, you know, if you see a shipper like that, report them to the CX. The more people that report things to the CX where it's wrong, the more they'd have to take action against them shippers. A few lads on some of the chat groups that I'm in have started now doing that. But there are people on here posting jobs that aren't actually a job. I have a van for sale. Well, that's not a job. It still goes down and is recorded as a job on the CX, by the way, on their figures when they say we're posting 8 million jobs a day. But they're using the platform to post things that are absolutely not going to be any work for you. So report them and don't take fair paying passengers because you're not insured for it. That's what hire and reward cover for a taxi does, not you. You can get yourself in a bit of hot water if you have an accident or get pulled by the police, can't you? Anyway, that aside, have a great weekend. I hope that you've earned some money, and I hope that you stay tuned to the channel, keep subscribing, and give us a thumbs up every now and again because that helps to boost it. Take it easy.